What if I told you that the key to attracting the best men isn't about how you look, what you say, or even who you know? It's about who you are. You see, the women who always seem to find extraordinary partners, men who are kind, confident, and committed, aren't just lucky. They are living proof of a deeper truth. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So today, let's dive into 4 transformative habits that make these women magnetic to the best men. 1. They embody self-worth. The moment a woman realizes her value isn't determined by external validation, she becomes unstoppable. She doesn't chase. She doesn't beg. She doesn't shrink herself to fit someone's idea of love. She is love. She knows that her worth is intrinsic, and because she moves with that unshakable confidence, the right man sees her not as an option, but as a necessity. 2. They master emotional intelligence. They don't react, they respond. These women understand that emotional maturity is their greatest asset. They set boundaries with grace, they communicate with clarity, and they don't allow their past to dictate their future. They know that a man of high value will mirror their emotional depth, not their insecurities. 3. They operate from abundance, not lack. A woman who believes she is enough will never chase a man. She doesn't grasp at love because she understands that real love flows, it doesn't force. She steps into relationships knowing that if something isn't aligned, she will walk away with peace, not desperation. And that confidence, that's what makes her irresistible. 4. They live with purpose and passion. A woman who is deeply in love with her own life will never settle for a man who isn't equally inspired. The best men don't want someone who revolves around them. They want someone who elevates them. When a woman is lit up by her own passions, she attracts a man who wants to fuel that fire, not extinguish it. So here's the truth. You don't need to change yourself to attract a high-quality man. You just need to become so aligned with your own worth, your own energy, and your own vision that the right man has no choice but to meet you there. When you embody love, respect, and confidence, you don't have to search for the best men. They find you. What do you think? Want me to tweak anything? The moment a woman realizes her value isn't determined by external validation, she becomes a force of nature. She no longer seeks approval, attention, or affection to feel whole. She is whole. She doesn't wait for a man to choose her because she has already chosen herself. This kind of self-worth is magnetic. It's not loud, desperate, or performative. It's a quiet, unwavering certainty that says, I am enough exactly as I am. A woman who embodies self-worth doesn't tolerate half-hearted love, mixed signals, or emotional breadcrumbs. She doesn't shrink herself to be more likable or overextend herself to prove she's worthy. She knows that real love doesn't require self-sacrifice, only self-alignment. And because she moves through life with this kind of energy, the right man sees her not as an option, but as a necessity. He recognizes that being with her is a privilege, not a convenience. He is drawn to her confidence, her clarity, her unwavering belief in herself. She doesn't need to convince him of her worth. He can feel it. And that's the difference. Women who know their worth don't attract men who need to be convinced. They attract men who are already certain. Women who attract the best men understand that emotional intelligence is their superpower. They don't react impulsively. They respond with intention. They are aware of their emotions, but they are not controlled by them. When faced with conflict, they don't resort to blame, manipulation, or emotional outbursts. Instead, they communicate with clarity, grace, and confidence, setting the tone for a relationship built on mutual understanding and respect. These women don't allow their past wounds to dictate their present choices. They have done the inner work, healed from past heartbreaks, and let go of limiting beliefs that no longer serve them. They don't project old fears onto new relationships. They approach love with an open heart but a discerning mind, knowing that emotional baggage left unchecked will only sabotage true connection. They also set healthy boundaries, not from a place of fear, but from a place of self-respect. They don't tolerate inconsistency, disrespect, or emotional games. Instead of pleading for love, they allow space for the right man to rise to meet them. And the best men do, because high-value men respect women who respect themselves. By mastering emotional intelligence, these women create an environment where love can thrive. They bring peace instead of chaos, security instead of doubt, and emotional depth instead of drama. And because they lead with wisdom rather than impulse, they naturally attract men who operate on that same level of emotional maturity. A woman who operates from abundance understands that love is not a scarce resource. She doesn't view relationships through the lens of fear of being alone, fear of missing out, or fear of not being chosen. Instead, she trusts that what is meant for her will come, and what isn't will naturally fall away. She doesn't chase, force, or cling to connections that don't serve her, because she knows that true love flows effortlessly in alignment with her highest self. This kind of woman never lowers her standards out of desperation. She doesn't settle for inconsistency, breadcrumbs, or half-hearted effort just to say she has someone. She would rather be alone than in the wrong company, and this unwavering self-assurance is precisely what makes her so magnetic. She isn't trying to prove her worth, she embodies it. She moves through life knowing that the right man will recognize her value without needing to be convinced. When a woman operates from abundance, she approaches dating with confidence and ease. She isn't fazed by rejection because she understands that it's simply redirection towards something better. She doesn't see a failed relationship as a loss. She sees it as an experience that brought her closer to the love she truly deserves. Because of this mindset, she attracts men who also live in abundance. Men who don't play games, who don't need to be chased, and who are emotionally available. She doesn't have to force or manipulate a connection because the right man will meet her with the same energy of certainty, effort, and intention. When she operates from abundance, love doesn't feel like something she has to earn. It feels like something that was destined to meet her. A woman who lives with purpose and passion is deeply connected to herself. She wakes up each day excited about her life, not because of a relationship, but because she has built something meaningful beyond it, whether it's her career, her creativity, her personal growth, or her contribution to the world. She is driven by something greater than just finding love, and that in itself makes her magnetic. She doesn't wait for a man to give her life direction because she has already claimed it for herself. She is not searching for someone to complete her. She is already whole. When she steps into a room, people can feel her energy. It's the energy of a woman who is fulfilled, lit up, and deeply in love with life. And men who operate at a high level are drawn to that energy. They don't see her as someone who inspires them to be better. They see her as someone who inspires them to be better. This kind of woman is never dependent on a relationship for happiness, which makes her incredibly attractive. She doesn't put her dreams on hold for a man, nor does she mold herself to fit someone else's expectations. Instead, she stays true to who she is, knowing that the right man will admire her ambition, support her passions, and want to grow alongside her. When a woman lives with purpose and passion, she naturally attracts men who are also purpose-driven. She is a woman who adds value to a man's life, not because she is trying to prove her worth, but because she is already so deeply aligned with it. The best men don't want a woman who makes them her entire world. They want a woman with a world of her own, one they are excited to be a part of. A woman who is selective, not desperate, moves through life with intention. She understands that love is not about simply being chosen. It's about making the right choice. She doesn't entertain relationships out of loneliness, boredom, or social pressure. Instead, she carefully evaluates who she allows into her life, knowing that the person she chooses as a partner will influence her energy, mindset, and future. She doesn't waste time on men who send mixed signals, make excuses, or offer bare minimum effort. She doesn't justify red flags or convince herself to settle for good enough. Instead, she has a clear vision of the kind of relationship she wants and refuses to accept anything less. This isn't about arrogance, it's about self-respect. She knows that the wrong relationship is far more draining than being alone, and because of that, she has the patience to wait for something real. This kind of woman understands that attraction alone isn't enough. She looks beyond surface-level chemistry and evaluates a man's character, values, and consistency. She is not impressed by charm alone. She wants substance. She seeks a man who aligns with her emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And because she refuses to lower her standards, the men who step into her life know that they have to rise to meet her. Her selectiveness does not come from a place of fear, but from a place of confidence. She trusts herself. She trusts her intuition. She knows that when the right man arrives, he won't require convincing, chasing, or compromising her self-worth. And because of this, she attracts men who respect her, who value her, and who are ready to offer her the kind of love she truly deserves. A woman who aligns with the energy of love doesn't chase it, force it, or fear its absence. She becomes it. She understands that love is not something external to be found, it is something internal to be cultivated. She embodies the kind of love she wants to receive, radiating warmth, kindness, and authenticity in everything she does. Because she carries love within her, she naturally attracts a man who mirrors that same depth and devotion. She does not operate from wounds, insecurities, or past heartbreaks. She does the inner work to heal, releasing bitterness, resentment, and limiting beliefs that could block her from receiving the love she desires. She refuses to let past disappointments shape her future, knowing that love cannot flow freely where fear and doubt reside. Instead, she trusts that the right relationship will come in divine timing, without force or desperation. This kind of woman does not search for a relationship to complete her. She is already whole. Love, to her, is not about possession or control. It is about connection, growth, and mutual expansion. She does not engage in toxic patterns of manipulation, jealousy, or emotional games because she knows that real love is built on trust, security, and emotional maturity. Because she aligns with love, she attracts a partner who values depth over superficial attraction, consistency over convenience, and commitment over fleeting passion. She does not settle for temporary highs or empty words. She seeks a love that is rooted in truth, intention, and emotional integrity, and the man who is meant for her, he recognizes her rare energy immediately, knowing that he has found something extraordinary. What if I told you that attracting an extraordinary partner isn't about luck, looks, or playing the right games? It's about alignment. It's about who you are. Women who consistently attract high-quality men, the kind who are loyal, emotionally mature, and deeply committed, aren't just fortunate. They embody certain habits that naturally draw in the right kind of love. They don't chase, they don't settle, they don't lose themselves in the pursuit of a relationship. Instead, they become the type of woman who effortlessly attracts a partner that reflects their highest self. The first thing these women master is self-worth. They don't wait for someone else to validate them, they validate themselves. They move with a quiet confidence that says, I know who I am and I know what I deserve. They don't tolerate inconsistency or half-hearted effort because they don't need love to feel complete. Love for them is an addition, not a necessity. But confidence alone isn't enough. These women also have emotional intelligence. They don't react impulsively, they respond with wisdom. They set boundaries with grace, communicate with clarity, and don't allow past wounds to dictate their future. They've done the inner work, and because of that, they attract men who have done the same. And here's what really sets them apart. They operate from abundance, not lack. They don't grasp at love out of fear of being alone. They don't see relationships as something to win, but as something that should flow. When something isn't right, they walk away with peace, knowing that something better is always on its way. This mindset makes them incredibly magnetic to men who are also secure, confident, and emotionally available. Beyond relationships, these women are driven by purpose and passion. Their lives are full, their hearts are on fire, and they wake up every day excited about their own journey. They don't sit around waiting for a man to give their life meaning. They create meaning for themselves. And that energy, it's irresistible. The best men don't want a woman who depends on them for happiness. They want a woman who inspires them. Most importantly, they are selective, not desperate. They don't entertain anyone who falls short of their standards. They're willing to be alone rather than settle for mediocrity. Because of that, the men who step into their lives know that they must rise to meet them. And only the best men do. And finally, they don't just look for love, they align with it. They don't beg for affection, chase unavailable partners, or cling to toxic cycles. Instead, they embody love. They radiate kindness, self-respect, and emotional depth, making it impossible for the right man to overlook them. So here's the truth. The best relationships don't happen by chance. They happen by choice. When you become the love you seek, the right partner has no choice but to recognize and cherish you. You don't have to chase the best men. When you step into your power, they find you.